Today we're working on the Unit 10 study guide, starting with number 1, and you might want to grab your formula sheet. This is case number 3. I've got the x squared is equal to the outside part of the other segment times that whole thing, which would be 17. X squared is equal to 85, and we're going to go and take the square root of 85. And we get 9.2. Okay, moving on to the next one. We've been told, actually I think up at the top it says if it looks tangent, it is tangent. That means this is a right angle. This angle is 27 degrees, so we know that when we add all of these angles together, we should end up with 180 degrees. X plus 117 equals 180. When I go and subtract, I end up with x is equal to 53. Okay, moving on to the next question. We have a radius of 12. That means this length here would be 12, this length here would be 12, and I'm just going to try and pull out that right triangle that I just created. This is a right angle, this is 12, OQ is 7, and ultimately we're looking for the length of RS. We're going to go and set up Pythagorean's theorem. When we subtract, I end up with 95. We're going to take the square root of the 95, and we end up with 9.7. But that is just this length here. We actually have to double it to get the length of AB. And I've got 19.4. Alright, number 4 is similar. We're looking for the value of x, which is a radius. Well, if you notice, I can draw this in, which is a radius, and I can go and find that length. This length would be half of the 24. Plugging that into our calculator, we get 180. Again, it says take it to the nearest tenth. We're going to go take the square root of 180. Get 13.4. Number 5, if you look at your formula sheet, this is case number 1, is part times part equals part times part. In other words, I've got 10 times x equals 9 times 24. When we divide by 10, we end up with 21.6. Skip number 6 for just a moment for sake of time. I'm going to go do number 7. I've been given this angle in here is 31 degrees. It's inscribed, so to get to its corresponding arc, I double that. Angle O is a central angle, which means it's actually equal to its corresponding arc. So the measure of angle O is 62 degrees. Go up and take a look at number 8. If you look at your formula sheet, this is the second case with the angles. When the angle is outside, it's 1/2 the difference of the two arcs. We've got 51 for this arc, 126 for this arc. We're taking the larger arc and we're subtracting the smaller arc. We've got half of 75. Up with 37.5 degrees. Alright, moving on to number 9. We've been given the measures of 2 of the angles. We're looking for the value of x. Notice these 2 angles are supplementary. That means they have to add up to 180 degrees. So subtracting the 152 would give us 128, and we can go and divide. I got x to be 8. Couple things, actually we'll get to it on the next one. Number 10, they want a major arc, so that means it has to be greater than 180 degrees. So, I don't know, I'm going to start at G, So that would be GHJ. Next it says minor. That means it has to be less than 180 degrees. So HI would be minor. A semicircle. That means it has to equal 180 degrees. So that would be right here. GJI. And then they want an arc adjacent. That means next to HI. So I could either pick HG or IJ. Alright, question 15. We're looking for the length of JK. That means we're looking for this length right here. So you want to be thinking, is that part of circumference or part of area? That's part of the circumference. And the part that I want is the 120 out of 360. My circumference formula is 2 pi r, or pi times d. Plugging that into my calculator, I get 5 pi. Number 12, we have a tangent, which means we've got a right angle here. We're going to go and use Pythagorean's theorem. We saw one of these on our quiz. We're going to see one of these on our test. Alright, moving on to number 12. I'm going to use Pythagorean's theorem. We've got r squared plus 24 squared. This whole length is r plus 16. 576. When I go and FOIL this out, then we get r squared plus 32r plus 256. My r squareds cancel out. I'm going to go ahead and subtract the 256 from the 576. We have 320 equals 32r, so r is equal to 10. Moving on to 13. Alright, I'm going to start by tracing angle A, and it corresponds with this angle here. So A is half of 76, which would be 38. I'm going to go trace angle D. If you take a look at D, it actually corresponds with the semicircle. So that means half of 180 is 90 degrees. So if this is 90 and this is 38, I can go find angle B by keeping in mind the sum of the angles on a triangle has to equal 180. Get 52 degrees. And then finally, if I trace over angle B, it corresponds with arc C, and arc C would be 2 times the 52. Get 104. Okay, similar on 14. B is related to this 36-degree angle, so B is equal to 2 times 36. If I trace over A is related to this arc here, and I go back to that arc, or that angle, so I take half. And then finally D. These three angles have to add up to 180. So if I take 180 minus 36,